Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are going to be taking a deep dive into ETFs.
Exchange-traded funds?
Yes, ETFs, exchange-traded funds, and we've got a really great podcast episode that we're going to be breaking down today. So by the end of this deep dive, you're going to be an ETF pro.
Absolutely.
No more confusion, no more jargon.
That's right.
Just straight understanding.
Yeah.
So if you've heard of ETFs, but you've never really understood what they are or how they work, then this is the deep dive for you.
That is.
Let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the podcast we're looking at today describes an ETF as a basket of assets. What does that even mean?
Well, it's a good analogy, actually, because it really gets to the heart of what an ETF is all about, which is diversification. So with a single ETF, you're not just investing in one company's stock, you're investing in a whole bunch of them. Maybe it's across different sectors or different countries even.
So instead of putting all your eggs in one basket, you're kind of spreading them out a little bit.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of it.
Okay, I like that. Now, the podcast we're listening to also mentioned that ETFs trade just like stocks, which is different from mutual funds, which are priced only once a day.
Right.
They use this analogy of a stock market buffet.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because with an ETF, you can pick and choose what you want and when you want it. You're not limited to just the end-of-the-day prices like you are with a mutual fund.
So it gives you a little more control.
Much more control.
Yeah, okay.
And flexibility.
Especially if you're somebody who likes to kind of actively trade.
Exactly. If you like to be in and out of the market and,
Yeah.
react to news and events, then ETFs are perfect for that.
You got your finger on the pulse.
You got it.
Now let's talk about something that I know everybody loves, and that is low fees.
Everyone loves low fees.
The podcast we were listening to, they made this funny comment about fancy suit-wearing people charging high fees.
Yeah.
But ETFs really stand out because they're known for being cost-effective.
Yeah, they are. And that's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
It's not just about being cheap. It's about keeping more of your hard-earned money working for you.
Because those fees can really add up over time, right?
They absolutely can. It's like a silent drain on your returns.
Yeah, it's like a little hole in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so low fees, that's a big plus.
Big plus.
Now, to really understand the power of these low fees, we need to go back to that basket of assets idea.
Yes.
And talk more about diversification. I love that they use this dinner party analogy.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, they were saying you wouldn't serve the same dish to everyone at a dinner party because you don't know what their dietary needs are.
Right. Some people might be vegetarians. Some people might be gluten-free.
Exactly. So you offer a variety of options.
A buffet of choices.
A buffet of choices, just like our ETF buffet.
Exactly. And that's what diversification is all about.
Okay, so you're spreading out your risk. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. And you're doing it in a way that's managed by professionals.
So you don't have to be an expert to build a diversified portfolio.
You can leave that to the experts who design the ETFs.
So it takes the pressure off.
It does. It really does.
Now let's tackle something that can be a little bit confusing, taxes.
Yes. Tax is always a fun topic.
Always a fun topic. The podcast briefly mentioned how ETFs can be more tax efficient than other types of investments because of their in-kind structure. I'll be honest, I don't even fully understand that in-kind thing.
It is a bit jargony, isn't it?
It is a bit, yeah. Could you break it down for us?
Sure. So basically the way ETFs are structured, they minimize the taxes you have to pay when you sell them for a profit. It has to do with how they buy and sell the underlying assets. So it's a bit complicated, but the good news is it's working in your favor.
Okay, so even though it's complicated, it's actually a good thing for us.
It is a good thing you get to keep more of your money.
I like the sound of that.
Me too.
Okay, so we've got diversification, we've got low fees, we've got tax advantages. What else is there?
Well, let's not forget about liquidity.
Ah, yes, liquidity.
The podcast used this great analogy of searching for your car keys. You want them to be there when you need them, right?
You don't want to be scrambling around.
Exactly. And with ETFs, you have that same kind of easy access to your money.
Because they trade on the stock market just like individual stocks.
Right. So you can buy and sell them quickly and easily.
It gives you the flexibility to react to whatever's happening in the market or in your life.
Exactly. You're not locked in.
I like that.
It's about freedom.
And freedom.
And control.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about diversification, low fees, tax advantages, and liquidity. It sounds like ETFs really have a lot to offer.
They do. They're a fantastic tool for investors of all levels.
All right, well, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll delve even deeper into the world of ETFs.
Sounds good. It really is all about giving you more control as an investor. And that actually reminds me, the source we were listening to, they really emphasized how much variety there is when it comes to ETFs. Like you can invest in almost anything these days through an ETFs. Like you can invest in almost anything these days through an ETF.
It's pretty mind-blowing, actually.
Mhm.
You know, it goes way beyond just stocks and bonds.
Oh, yeah.
They were talking about ETFs that track commodities like gold and oil,
Right.
real estate,
Huh.
even specific industries like clean energy or AI.
It's incredible. You can basically invest in any sector or trend that you're interested in.
So instead of trying to pick individual stocks,
Right.
you could invest in a whole sector that you think is going to do well.
Exactly. Like imagine investing in an ETF that focuses on companies developing sustainable solutions.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right.
I like that.
So you're not only growing your wealth, but you're also supporting, the future you want to see.
Yeah, aligning your investments with your values.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say I'm really interested in, the future of healthcare.
Okay.
Are there ETFs that focus on that?
Absolutely. There are ETFs that track companies at the forefront of medical innovation. Things like gene editing, telemedicine, all that cutting edge stuff.
So cool.
Yeah.
And what about like the electric vehicle market? Everyone's talking about electric vehicles.
Of course, there's probably like a dozen ETFs for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a hot sector.
It really is. ETFs have really changed the game, haven't they?
They have. They've made investing accessible to everyone.
It's not just for, Wall Street anymore.
Exactly. You don't need $1 million to get started.
Okay, so let's say I'm ready to start investing in ETFs.
Okay.
What are some things I should be thinking about?
Well, first things first. You need to know what you're looking for.
Okay.
What are your goals? Are you looking for long-term growth? Are you looking for income or a little bit of both?
Makes sense.
And how much risk are you comfortable with?
Yeah, you don't want to, bite off more than you can chew.
Exactly. It's like choosing the right hiking trail.
Ooh, I like that analogy.
Right. You need to know your fitness level and how challenging you want the hike to be.
Okay, so once I know my goals and my risk tolerance.
Then you need to do some research on the specific ETF you're interested in.
Yeah.
Look at the underlying holdings.
What does that mean?
So basically, what companies or assets make up that ETF?
Oh, okay.
Does the ETF strategy align with your own goals?
Got it.
It's like checking the ingredients list before you buy food.
Yeah, you don't want any surprises.
Exactly. And then, of course, you want to pay attention to the expense ratio.
That's the fee the fund manager charges, right?
Right. And as we talked about earlier, those fees can really add up over time.
Yeah, so lower is better.
Lower is better.
Okay. And anything else I should be looking at?
Definitely look at the trading volume and liquidity.
What does that mean?
Basically, you want to make sure that there are enough people buying and selling the ETF
Okay.
so that you can easily get in and out of your investment when you need to.
So you're not stuck.
Exactly. You don't want to be stuck with an ETF that nobody wants to buy.
Like a stale piece of bread.
Exactly.
Okay, so to recap, what are the key things to consider when choosing an ETF?
Your goals,
Okay.
the underlying holdings,
Uh-huh.
the expense ratio, and the liquidity.
Got it. That's a lot to keep in mind.
It is, but don't worry, there are lots of resources out there that can help you.
Oh, good.
Websites, financial advisors.
So you don't have to go it alone.
You don't have to.
Great. So I'm feeling a little more confident about ETFs now.
Good, I'm glad to hear that.
But I have to admit, it's still a little bit overwhelming.
I understand. It's a big world out there.
It is. So where do I even start
Well, my advice would be to just start exploring.
exploring?
Yeah. There are websites where you can filter ETFs based on your interests, your risk tolerance, all of that.
Okay.
Think about the sectors or trends that you're excited about.
Right.
And see if there's an ETF that aligns with your vision.
So it's about finding investments that you're passionate about.
Exactly. It
Yes,
should be fun.
Fun.
Yeah, investing shouldn't feel like a chore.
I agree with that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really amazing how approachable ETFs have made investing, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They've really, I think, taken what could be a kind of complicated and intimidating world and made it so much more accessible for everybody.
Yeah. And thinking back to the podcast that we've been talking about today, it seems like ETFs really offer like a really great combo of benefits, for investors of all different levels.
Definitely diversification, low fees, flexibility, the tax advantages, liquidity. It's like they took all the best parts of investing and put it all in one package.
Yeah, with so many different ETFs to choose from, you can really tailor those investments to your specific interests and goals.
Exactly. Like whatever you're passionate about, whether it's renewable energy or AI or the future of healthcare, there's probably an ETF out there that's perfect for you.
And it's empowering too, right? to think that you can not only grow your wealth, but also support those causes and innovations that you believe in.
Yeah, it really is. It's a win-win.
So I have a question for you and for our listeners.
Okay, I'm ready.
If you could invest in any sector or trend using an ETF, what would it be and why?
That's a good question. I think for me, it would have to be an ETF that focuses on sustainable food solutions.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more.
Well, I'm really interested in companies that are doing innovative things in like vertical farming or alternative proteins, regenerative agriculture, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a sector that's not only addressing like really critical global challenges, but also it's poised for like huge growth in the coming years.
I love that. That's a fantastic choice.
Mm.
What about you? Where would your investment journey take you if you could pick any ETF?
Ooh, that's tough. There are so many exciting possibilities, but if I had to pick just one, I think I'd go with an ETF that's all about space exploration.
Ooh, space exploration.
Yeah, investing in companies that are pushing the boundaries of human knowledge, venturing into the unknown,
Yeah.
that just really captures my imagination.
That's such a great choice. And it's a sector that has so much potential, in the years to come.
For sure.
Well, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive into the world of ETFs today.
Yes.
We hope this episode has given you a clearer understanding of what ETFs are, how they work, and why they might be a good addition to your investment portfolio.
Absolutely. And remember, knowledge is power. So the more you learn about ETFs, the better prepared you'll be to make those informed decisions and create a portfolio that really reflects your own goals and aspirations.
Thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery.
Yes, thank you.
We encourage you to continue exploring the world of ETFs and discover all the amazing possibilities that they offer. Until next time, happy investing.
Happy investing.